Hey, this is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's February 11th, 2026. Looking out at the Boy Scout couloir from Monday after they got that fresh hit of snow. About 8 to 12 inches fell on the Sawtooths. And if you're still enjoying this broadcast, we ask you to do a one-time donation or even better, sign up for that monthly sustaining membership. Today we're going to have some scattered snow showers this morning. We've already picked up a trace of snow in the valley, in the Wood River Valley, and that might change over to rain as those temperatures increase and continue to have a couple of little showers after that. Tomorrow's going to be even more isolated in nature before we have a brief ridge of clearer weather on Friday before the next series of storms impact us for the weekend. This is looking out at the Quigley storm board. Haven't seen much snow on this year. I think probably 3 other days. So pretty exciting to wake up that this morning outside. Looking at the infrared this morning, we have a series of lows out here that are pulling moisture and bringing it up into our area from the Pacific. That it's going to be kind of the name of the game for the next week or so. Looking at the HER forecast, you can see those showers starting to roll in here and very scattered in nature. Those kind of clear out through the afternoon, and then a second wave brings some in right before nightfall. We might get a couple in the southern zone. Cary area might get a couple more significant ones tonight, maybe enough to cool off and bring in some snow. And then tomorrow it's going to be very isolated in nature. You can see lots of just specks out there and kind of look like they could have some isolated thunder. I wasn't seeing that in the models, but it kind of just looks that way. I haven't looked at this HER forecast many times before. Looking at how much snow we're going to get today, a lot less in the north regions, 1 to 2 inches. Baker Lake zone, Soldier, Trinity, Heinemann, kind of the higher isolated elevations in the southern zones could pick up anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow, and we'll take every inch we get. We are still looking good for the long term. It's now shifted a day or two, so I don't know if we're going to be able to call this the Valentine's Day storm like I was hoping. It's looking like it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, but long-term forecast is still above normal. We are kind of hovering in the near normal for temperatures. We'll take the near normal for temperatures and love seeing the above normal for precip. Looking out at the forecast or the NBM models over Haley the next week, it's pretty cool to see snow actually possibly falling on the ground. We kind of have to overcome some temperatures, some warm temperatures on Monday. It looks like it might be kind of a sloppy, wet and heavy snow removal, but we're not going to be getting tons of it, so a couple inches each day. Looking at the 500 millibar charts, I'm going with the GFS this morning. You can see these double-barreled low down here off of California get a little bit more organized and shift to the east, and we get a little high pressure, just a small bit, barely enough to call it that on Friday. Saturday, we're just basically the jet stream, which we can think of as the conveyor belt, is going to be loading in these lows, and it's kind of a fast moving conveyor belt, and they're just going to be shooting out these lows at us. So we're going to have a series of lows rather than one storm system parking itself and just unloading. We're going to have a series of storms over the next 5 days. And we have our high pressure system sitting over in the western part, or more in the Pacific Ocean, whereas it was centered over us for the last month. So we're now in the flow, whereas it was over in the plains and the east, we're going to be finally getting some of that moisture coming in. And that low parked out California is going to pull in lots of warm air. There's always lots of warm, moist air in like Baja, near Hawaii area. And that's going to pull it in with southwest flow, which is really great for the southern reaches of the mountains. So that first low is going to come through pretty hot and heavy on Monday. And then there's a second low that's going to come through after that Tuesday. And we're going to have a brief little break before this next low makes its way down the coast and has a little trough coming through for Saturday. And if we play this all the way through, this is getting into really the future forecast, but you can see this next low coming through kind of stays a little high, might be staying to the north of us, but the Euro has it a little south, so still not really lining up with the models yet on where that last storm's going to come through. All right, another look. I'm going to play this more fast forward, so you can see this low comes through here, the next low comes through here, next low, and that one gets ejected, the next low comes in, this is going to get ejected, and then you can see another low come in. So this is kind of showing you more of the conveyor belt of these series of lows that just keep dropping in and giving us moisture. So not going to be seeing a heavy one and done storm over like a 24-hour period. We're just going to be seeing just like broad numbers here, like 3 to 6 inches each 24-hour period. That will eventually add up. You can see some of the highlight zones. This is for snow. The Pioneers with the elevation are going to look like being the couple feet range. Lost Rivers are looking really good over here. They haven't seen much snow this season, so that's good to see. Trinity is looking pretty wet here. Morris Creek is looking good. Even over in Bogus, could be seeing a foot of snow over that long extended period of time. And even the valley floors are looking like they're going to see some snow in the Woodward Valley, a little less in the Sawtooth. So you can kind of see this line here. If I cut right across Galena Pass over to the east, most of that moisture is in the southern zone, and that's because we're going to be in the southwest flow with most of these storms. So that's just where we're going to see it happen. So I'll go through a couple MBM models. I'll get more into this on Friday's forecast as we get a little closer, but I can't help myself. So you can see the storm on Saturday. It's just going to be trickling in and not really ramp up until Sunday night, Monday morning, where we get the first wave. And then the second wave more towards Wednesday, Thursday, but you can see it just keeps on going. That's for the Sawtooth. Titus, which is centered a little bit at the top section of where all that moisture is going to be coming through, is looking like, you can see a foot and a half. And then this is the Hyman Snowtail site, so not really great depiction of what's going to happen upper elevation, but pretty wet, the wettest of those three zones. All right, enjoy the little refresh out there. Watch for icy conditions on the highway this morning, and get psyched because winter's back.